What is XRP velocity, and how can XRP velocity affect its price, and how can we get to $1,000 with the XRP velocity formula? Here we go. First of all, what is velocity? Velocity measures how many times each XRP can change hands per day. That is the formula that I use when trying to figure out XRP price, and we're going to see how we get to $1,000. Price equals daily settlement volume divided by the supply times velocity. And that's basically how it works. If velocity drops, meaning each XRP moves less often, then more dollar value has to be represented by each XRP. The price must rise to keep the same liquidity. The lower the velocity number, the higher the price of XRP. Think of XRP like fuel in an engine. If the engine or the network burns fuel slower, lower velocity, it needs higher octane fuel, higher price to do the same work. If less XRP is moving around, each token must represent more dollar value to keep it working properly. So for lower velocity is key to having an XRP price that's high, here's a few things that would help keep lower velocity. Number 1, long-term holding. Number 2, regulatory friction. In other words, each transfer requires more compliance steps, which slows XRP down a bit. On-demand liquidity. Number 3. Number 4, locked or staked XRP, which means less supply out there, higher price. Number 5, institutional settlement behavior. In other words, banks usually do like bulk transactions, either once per day or once per hour. That can change the velocity on how much XRP is moving. And number 6, let's call it a feedback loop, where naturally as price rises of XRP, fewer XRP are needed per transaction. So here's a chart I made showing the required daily settlement needed for XRP to hit $1,000 using different circulating supplies and different velocities. So the first one is a velocity of 5, supply of 50 billion, we're going to need 250 trillion. Number 2, a 10 velocity with a 50 billion circulating supply, we're going to need $500 trillion per day to hit $1,000. Number 3, above my head, we have a 25 velocity, 50 billion circulating supply. We're going to need $1.25 quadrillion a day to hit $1,000 XRP. Number 4, below my massive pectoral muscles, we have a velocity of 10, which is an average, and we have a circulating supply of 40 billion. We're going to need $400 trillion a day. So as you can see, the circulating supply has gotten a little bit less, so the price is going to go a little bit higher. And finally, with a velocity of 10, which is again about average, and a 30 billion XRP circulating supply, we're going to need about $300 trillion a day to reach $1,000 XRP.